simple and as easy as I can. Okay, so basically the TLDR for Brad is you've got Ableton, and like you guys can definitely read through this whole thing. There's a lot to read through. But right now it's kind of like right now the goal for Brad, because he's been absolutely crushing it on the like getting into songwriting, writing his own stuff, doing demos, doing all that kind of stuff, is he wants to get his setup to be as easy to plug in and play, to ideate, and to start creating demo level recordings. So that's pretty much wicked. And you've got those new plugins that you said down here, you got the Xvox Pro and Xtract Pro. Sweet. I don't even know what they are, but that is so awesome for you. And if it gets you the sound that you want, that is awesome. I have been tweaking my audio for a while now, and it's been pretty cool. We keep getting better and better. So I'll have some updates on like the production courses in the future where I show you all the new things I have learned and how we can try and make them in the most basic way possible in Ableton Live. But if you're wanting to get like a frictionless setup, Ableton is really, really amazing for all of this. So basically what you're looking for is like a kick or a tambourine MIDI track so you can perform it, and then you can like do your live and guitar tracks and stuff like that. So this is the arrangement view. So like here, this is what Ableton standard looks like in case anyone is watching this and doesn't know what we're talking about. But this is Ableton Live, DAW. And basically what we're going to be doing here is up here, you have like two options on Ableton. You've got arrangement view, which is what this is. And then we've got session view, which is, this is what I'm thinking, Brad, you need to start messing with. So I'm just going to delete this track because so you know how I started here. Now, one cool thing that you'll see here is I've got like my talking track. This is my vocal singing track, my guitar track. This was what a mic'd guitar track that I was doing. Then I have my Looper X like grouped, and that's like my guitar, my bass for my Looper X, my beats for my Looper X, my backing vocals for my Looper X. And then I've got my bass guitar track, and then my drum tracks. This is for, because I have a MIDI drum kit. You guys can see it on the side, and this is all sequenced. So this is what this track is. I've set it all up for my production. Now, one quick thing, Brad, once you set up your track, once you kind of like dialed in the tones and stuff and the way you want your arrangement to look, the very first thing that you can do to make your life amazing is you can save live set as default set. So when you set it as a default set, anytime you turn on Ableton, it will upload and set everything up exactly as is. So basically you turn on all the plugins, every single thing literally will be lined up, and you'll have like a blank, session, and you're like, all right, time to be creative. So you like push on and you've got your setup done. And so that's kind of how I have mine. So every time I turn on my my Ableton, I have everything that I could possibly need ready to go. And so that is ideally what you want to be as creative as possible. So what we're going to do here is, the reason why I like the session view here is for ideating, is because like we're going to start writing songs, right? Or we're going to be jamming on things. And you're going to be wanting to mess around with sections. And so like what this is so amazing for is you can start like ideating really, really easily without having to play your instrument all the time. So let's just say I'm going to write a song right now, and it's going to be like a... I don't know what the hell this is, but it's in the key of F too, so that's one. All right, whatever. I'm liking it. So let's lock in on that. So this track that I'm playing here, I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna hit record, and now I need to set like my beat. Dum boom bum dum. And so first thing I need to get is the BPM. So you can tap the BPM, or you can figure out however you want the BPM to be figured out. Easiest way for me is just to tap it into Ableton. So you see I go up to this section here in the top left, and it's called tap. And I'm just going to go boom, 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 boom. just tapping what I think the beat is. And now I'm going to hit this button here. I have my master out separate. So the cue is going to go. So the cue out is where your, this thing over here on the right where my mouse is going, that is where your click track is going. So I'm moving it to 3/4 because that's where it's meant to be for me. And now I can hear it. But you're most likely going to be master out 1, 2. So don't feel bad about that. Just remember, it's just wherever that's going. So wherever that goes, that needs to go exactly where the master's out. Otherwise, you're not hearing the click. So if it says master out 1, 2, then cue out is 1, 2. Master out 3/4, you say 3/4. I just have 3/4 because that's how I've set up my audio routing with my interface. So now I've got my beat. Yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. That's a cool groove. Let's just because I like things being an even number and none of this point thing, so I just change it to 88. All right, cool. So that's my groove right now. So I'm just going to go hit record here. 3, 4. And so that was my little groove. I'm going to stop the recording here. Now, you'll see here I've got this little clip here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this clip. Because where does it start? I think it starts here. Whoops. I'm going to monitor. Make sure you set it to auto. So when you're monitoring, I just had it on input just because that's how I was. Like I'd like to just jam when I'm live streaming. But auto makes it so that when you aren't recording, you can hear my guitar. But when I push play, you can't hear me playing my guitar, and you're just hearing the track that I recorded. So here we go. So we want to start here. That's the downbeat. I wonder if it moves like this. Anyway. And it's because I want to get that loop to be clean as hell. Let's drag it over. So one thing you can do that helps out is I don't know if you're on a Mac or you're on a PC, but if you hit the control if you're on a PC and command if you're on Mac, and then you use your like mouse scroll, it makes things zoom in and zoom out. So that helps a lot. So we got. So let's say this is my verse. Now I don't have to play the guitar anymore, and I can start riffing on cool ideas. You don't wanna go. You don't wanna go, yeah. You don't wanna go, but I don't wanna say. Oh no, you don't wanna go. So you can see how like this is a really great tool for coming up with ideas and messing around. And now that's just like straight up basic. You can do this on as many tracks as you want to do. It's like, say for instance, I just need a groove out to this. And I'm like, all right, I need to see how this sounds. So then I'm just gonna, groove it. And now I've got that, and it should sync if I go like this. Now I'm gonna have to mix this up. Oops. My mistake was made when I didn't push monitor. Let's hear how it goes. Wait, I'm gonna turn this back on so you can hear me talking while I'm doing this. Why can't I hear you? Oh, go again. Oh, that's because I pushed that button. Whoops. I need to get that in time. So. I think I start it right here. I suck at this. Oh, it didn't record when it didn't record when I did the first part. But anyway, so that is like, sorry, the monitor's off. Cool. Yeah, that's much better. Does it play if I push record now? Okay, cool. Sweet. I'm just trying to make it so I can like teach you what I'm doing. So you can see now I have like, I've got my guitar and then I got my vocal and sweet. Like I can ideate with things there. So if you see here on the left side, this sets up. So these are cells that I'm setting up right now, right? So these like session cells. So this is my guitar cell here. And then this is my vocal idea that I have here. Now, if I just push play here, sorry, I'm just gonna, I do this with an Ableton push I have right here. So I'm trying to do this all without the push. And there has to be a button that I have to push here to stop this one. Oh yeah, you push the stop button here. And then if I push play, yeah. So if you see over here, oh yeah, that's it. So I push the square down here. On the Ableton pusher, they have like the button there. It's like, which is like the Ableton push is like it's like a launch pad kind of thing where you can push buttons and it's set up for Ableton. It's really cool. So these squares will stop the recording of the clips. And then up here, that's the play button for all the clips. So on this left side here, the master will turn on all clips that are on this line. And then now I've obviously stopped it. And if I just want to turn on one clip, I just hit it here. And then same thing with the guitar. So now you kind of got an idea of how this session thing works. You can do this unlimited times, and then you can just like stack like sections. So you could record like a verse section, a pre-chorus section, a chorus section, blah, 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 all those things. So this is how you can be just creative with it. But I'm just kind of showing you generally how to like have this set up as quick as possible so you can, you know, apply it to your music and do your thing and give it a try right away and see how it works. And if you like it, let me know because I'm going to show you how the final thing will work in a sec. But your big question was, how do I set up a drum rack? Because I need to get a groove or a beat going. Now the one thing I'm going to say right off the bat, which you can do, is I would duplicate. So I've got my talking track. I'm just going to duplicate this talking track. And do not overthink everything when it comes to this stuff. Beatbox. I'm going to make a beatbox track. Because if you suck at like, you know, setting up amazing, if you suck at making amazing Midi and all those things, like none of us are perfect. These are all skills we're all learning. We're not trying to be like, you know, geniuses right off the bat. Use what you got. And what you have that is more valuable than anyone who can sequence and do all those things is you have a brain that knows the kind of drum groove that you might like or that you've heard. The quickest way to get a drum groove, in my opinion, is go listen to a drum groove you love from a song that you love and literally just beatbox it. So for this one in particular, I'm feeling like a... That's a cool little, I like that vibe. And with beatboxing, it's just like boots and cats, boots, cats, boots, cats. Really, really simple. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. So right here, we're gonna get this groove going. So I'm gonna get the groove going. 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, I fucked it up. Turn the recording on. So now this is where that kick comes in. And let's get the monitor on. And oh, whoop. He's good. So that's like a super simple groove. And if I add the vocal. Now the other thing I'm going to do is wait, let's turn this back on. So the thing I'm going to do with this track here, there's a drum track, because if I'm beatboxing, right? You know, I want it to sound like a beatbox. Sound cool. Let's go to the beatbox. If I go to the audio rack that I have here, this is obviously set up for me talking. So I'm just going to quickly change a couple of things. Turn these things off. I can do some fancy things in a second. I won't do the fancy thing. But anyway, I have just like an EQ. So if I just want to make it like a really nice beatbox, I'm just going to boost around like, I know my beatbox sits around like 80 to 100 hertz. Because you can see it. So if I bring it level, you can see here where the EQ is pumping. So that's where my like, whatever it calls the key frequency is. And let's just bring that down so we get all the muddiness out. And we don't need any of this stuff. And then we'll take some of these reverb stuff out. Now that's very simple. So now I've got, you know, quite a few cool things that I can do there. Now, if I wanted to duplicate this guitar track, let's just delete that, and then I'm going to set this to a monitor. And if I want to mess around with some guitar ideas, I can start messing around here. So you can see how you can start being quite creative really, really quickly. Like I'm vibing. Like this is, woo, yeah, we're chilling. And so like this is the objective of music. It's just have fun and rock out. So that's the first step, is you can just make a vocal track. If you've got a mic and you're singing, because you're singing, you can literally just make a vocal track. And like with the beatbox, what I did with the EQ, you can get any kind of EQ. I think the standard, let's say I just like delete everything that I had here and you want to see me build it from scratch. So this is what the track sounds like, right? Let me turn everything off and then we'll turn the beatbox. So that's what it sounds like just recorded into this SM7B, which I'm pretty sure you have that mic. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Channel 8 EQ, which is a stock plugin. No, not that one. EQ8, that's the one. So this is a stock plugin in Ableton Live Standard. So this is what I have. And so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get you out of here. So I just changed this to a boost. And you see I'm boosting at that 70 to 80K, 70 to 80 hertz or whatever. Well, that's so you can see it's 75 right there. So the cue pretty big. Actually, we might. Ooh, what did I just do there? Oh, that is cool. I didn't know you could do that. Now you guys can see it even like more detail. I just don't do that when you're doing it, but this is how it should look when you're doing it. But this is going to help you guys out a lot more. Wow, there we go. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put a low cut because there's a bit of a messiness here. I'm going to change that to the high pass that it already was. I'm going to take out that information. I'll grab this one. I'm going to get that boost. Going to grab this one. We're going to cut around that 150 to 250 or whatever it is. So it's number 3. I'm going to make the cue pretty big. Big. And then turn this number 4 into boosting one. Around 1K, I reckon is nice for the. And then then we'll get another one here, number 5. Drag it over. And then do that into a very steep. Take away all that high noise that we're hearing, that airy shit. We don't want to hear that. So I'm just taking that out. And so that's my EQ. And then, we can add a little bit of dynamics. So we can chuck in like a chill compressor. Pretty easy. Just drop the threshold down so it's not like peaking like crazy. Move the attack. We're going to have like a slightly slow attack. So I'm putting it like 30. And then I'm going to make the release around 100. So when it kicks in, it's pretty good. Bring the threshold down. Okay, I'm going to bring this down. This is going red like crazy, but whatever. So you can see how like very quickly I was able to get that, it does have like a bit of that punch and that hit. So that's how I would set up like a beatbox channel. So this is very, very easy to do and get it rolling. And then that should be pretty fine for you. And so you can see how like together it does have like a bit of a flow, which is really, really cool. Now, that's just one way to do things. And I don't know if when I do record this, I can stack the recording. Just let me have a look. So if we're here and I go record, oh no, I don't think I can. I think if I want to do like a hi-hat thing, I might have to like duplicate this track, right? And then we make like a hi-hat track. beatbox, hi-hat. And then what I do is I delete that. And then with this track that I've got here, because the highs are, they're good. So let's just move this low cut. We want that doing all the fancy stuff. So bring this. I'm going to clean up this EQ. I'm cleaning up this EQ, like getting all the lows out so we don't hear any of that shit. And I think the hi-hat's going to be sitting around like 5K or whatever. 5K hertz. Yeah. So let's get this one rolling. So we got. So think of like the hi-hat groove that we're going to do. It needs to be like a. We kind of want to make it like. It sets like an extra kind of like groove to the whole track. So like it's got. So you could be like pretty straight with it, but I kind of like lean more into the groove just as I beatbox. That's just how I do it. I don't know. It's just my style, whatever. Or maybe I just suck and that's just how I do it. But see how it sounds. So we got. So then I would go into the track. So it will naturally, I'm pretty sure, just like the stock way of it doing it, it just kind of like loops it to, it's very smart. And it will auto quantize and it will auto like line it up with like, this is the best way to line it up in the position. So you can see here the start and end position. You can change the length of the loop and shit like that. But it understands that I need it in a, like that 4-bar sequence or whatever. So now we've got our track now. Like, let's go. We are rocking. We've got a groove. We've got a guitar. And then it's like, yo, do I need to record some bass in here? Like, so if I want to do that. So with that track, let's get that going. Let's hear what this sounds. So I got. I need to find where it is. So that's where that I gotta find where the loop starts with this one. So. That's right there. Where it starts again. Boom. And now that's my loop. So I got quite a bit here. And then we had some sick guitar solos. So that is like, look, you got a microphone, you got a guitar, you can do cool things. Like that is like, there isn't, so this example is like how to be creative and have fun and do things with your Ableton that is like, you know, anyone could do this. I mean, obviously, like you have to have the skill set to play the guitar, sing, blah, 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 all those things. But like you can see how it doesn't have to be a genius thing to start being creative, recording ideas, coming up with them. Like, and that is just one line, you know? Like we could just re-record, like we can start. And now once you have the setup, you know, you can, you know, I could just like keep this groove here, right? And like I could just, you know, copy and I can paste. I'm pretty sure does it copy? Oh no, it doesn't. If I go control, does it copy? Oh, if you control, it copies. So if you control drag, it copies. So now I do that and that's cool. And then, so now if I want to keep that groove going, and I'm like, okay, well now let's record a new guitar sequence. So if the groove was, and then what I want to do, let's just make it a basic pre-chorus thing. 2, 3. So I've got and then we go to our bass. So I'm going to record the bass part. Whoops, wrong settings. 2, 3. I just YOLO'd some shit there. But anyway, let's go back to this. Got the auto on. Where is it? Put that there. So that's my 4-bar phrase. Cool. And then, so now I've just recorded like a pre-chorus, and let's just say the chorus is going to be the same. So I just copied the first one. I'm going to copy this one, and then I'm going to copy this beat because the beat's going to be the same because YOLO, we're just being lazy. Now, if we're jamming, I've got... Let's just ignore this vocal. So if I'm ideating, I'm like and then what is my pre-chorus going to feel like? I hit it. And now I'm going to move to the next one. Because I'm now on the 3rd track. And then you're just like, whatever, vibing. And so this is a way you can you can write songs, and you can just like create the track yourself, very chill. And so I'm just vibing here. And then if I want to go over here, go back to like my verse, which is the same as the chorus. So I just copy pasted everything. But anytime I feel like I want to get that transition right, I can just keep alternating between the pre-chorus and the verse. So I go, and trying to figure out like, what's a cool way to push to the next part. And then I got it. So like you can see how I'm just like alternating between 1 and 2, but you can like write a chorus. They can stack this up like crazy. So that's like really, really cool. And then the other cool thing that you can do is if you really want to be like super fancy, is I can go. I'm pretty sure if I do it like this, and let me double check how this was going to go. So I'm going to go, just make sure I clean up everything in these tracks. If I go and I record enable all these tracks, so I record enable this, so I'm holding control to record enable, control or command, whatever you are. If you're holding it, it will record enable multiple tracks. And then if I go push and I go record like this, it's now recording all the tracks in arrangement view. So now I've got my one verse. And cool. And I'm going to switch back to my session. I'm going to do a pre-chorus change. Here it comes. I mucked it up. Oh well. So I'm just like alternating on this top right. And now if I go back to arrangement view, everything I just recorded is right here. It's hanging. So if I push this button here that I turned off, that's turning off all the session stuff. That button I just did over here. And there was like a yellow button you just saw here. So if I push play again, so you see how it's yellow? It means something special. I don't know what it means, but I don't know what the definition of it is, but it means you can't do stuff in arrangement view. So you just click this button and then everything is ready. And now I can go back to arrangement. And I can vibe out and do whatever I want. And now I have like my arrangement, and then like this is when you go into like mixing and doing all that stuff because you've like built this whole demo for yourself. So it's pretty cool. So that is the easiest way I can get you to be creative using what's in here. Now we're going to do a bonus section, which is the MIDI stuff that you asked for. So bonus time. So basically what we're going to do is that, like, if you don't want to do the beatboxing thing and you're not interested in doing any of that kind of stuff, which I highly recommend you do, because I reckon for everyone, you hear drums way better than you program drums, because programming drums is a skill in itself. So we're going to go create, and then you go new MIDI track. You can just follow the other important like ideas or stuff. Let's just move it over here so it's next to beatbox so we can see it. And we're going to rename it, and we're going to go drum rack vibes. Cool guy. I don't know, whatever. The drummer. And then we're going to go over here, and then you're going to go to drums. They make it really easy for you. And then you just pick which drum thing you want. And just have a look at all of them, and let's just go lo-fi. I just feel like a lo-fi. What? They'll give you a sample of what it sounds like. Kinky kit. Ooh. I like that one. That's more clean. So drop it down, getting ready. All right, let's go. So we got all of these are the different sounds. They're all the different sounds that we have here. You can always like go and find your own samples and then drag the sample over, and then you can make that your new sample if you want to do that. But we're not going to do that for now. That's a bit more later on. But if you want to go make it, so say for instance, I want to make a beat. So let's just mute these. So to mute them, you just like see it's yellow. If I click it, it's muted. Now I've got my vocal, I got my guitar, and my bass. So I'm gonna play that. Okay. Now, what you saw I just did, I double clicked on the cell that's on the same line as these ones right here. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag this up. So now you can see you can play the groove, and you can find where you want to put everything. So if I've got, use your brain, like boom, 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 boom. So I want a kick, boom, 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 1, 2, boom, boom, boom. So we got usually you want to get the kick on the 1 and the 3. And so where is my kick? Let's have a look. Where you at, kick? Kick plastic, boom, boom. So 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. I think that we'll go there. Nope. Boom. Yeah, I'm anticipating that kick. So that's my kick. And we want to boom. Wait, I'm going to put this where I'm with the snare. Boom. Don't like that one. Snare, low hit snare. Why don't I hear you? Cool. There it is. It is working. Let's crank this up really loud. Man, that's so quiet. Yellow hit snare. That's where I want it. Nope. Boom. Now, how do I want this? Yeah. I want that gap on this anticipated kick sound that I'm hearing. I want it to like stick out. And maybe I can like stack it with an open side. And then there you go, there's the drum loop. So like that's pretty easy. Like to me, it doesn't vibe as much as like the beatboxing thing because I'm just not good at like programming drums. You can see I'm just like kind of YOLOing it. But this is how simple it just has to be. And like you can always extend this loop as much as you want to like have more variation. So instead of it being a 1 bar loop, I can make it a 2 bar loop. And then, and then I think if I push this button, I can, so up here is where you do the writing tool. You see this little, you know, pencil button. I'm pretty sure there's a key command for it. We can Google it later. Actually, I'll Google it now. Where's my Google? Is it Google? Key command for, no, do this. Key command for writing MIDI and swapping to pointer. Ableton, I don't know if that's going to help us. Press B, activate draw mode. B again, deactivate draw mode. All right, so that's all we have to do. There we go, 200 IQ. B, boom, look at that. We are geniuses. So now if I wanted to just like copy paste it, I can copy paste the snare part, and then I'll draw V, boom, there we go. Now I'm gonna do something sneaky. Now if I want to change this and just delete that and ruin the whole groove, I can just move it like this. And then I can copy and paste this. And then, oops, drag that over. I'm pretty sure if I select it, I can control drag and it just copies. Yeah, that's how you do it. Control drag. And then you can just delete things here. Like if I delete that and then, you know, see what it sounds like. I wouldn't recommend doing this for a drum track. see how like that has now created something kind of cool. So hopefully that helps you in being creative and doing what you want to do and start coming up with cool ideas. But there, bam, that's your drum track. And that's how you build the MIDI, and you just, you drag down the drums and you Gucci. And then if you want to like mess with like the EQ and stuff, once you have your drum rack here, your gooch from there, I'm pretty sure each drum track can be mixed on its own. So you see how I've got the kick right here? So if I want like the kick to sound sick, I can drag audio effects like EQ. Like let's get EQ channel 8 and I drag it on the, so I've selected, you can see I've selected the kick. And now I'm going to drag next to it. See, if I go up here, that EQ disappears, right? But if I go back to kick, it's right there. Now if I want to like do some cool wonky things like that. So now if you listen to it, I just added some more beef to that kick. So things like that you can do. And so there's like an unlimited ideas. So, and I think we use the snare stick. So snare stick, we can grab that here, put the EQ8 here, have a look. No, it's not on that one. Which one did I do? What did I do? Snare, was it snare low stick? Was one I did? I think this is the one I did. Or you could just check. I did snare low stick center. Okay, cool. So snare low stick. Okay, that's it there. So that's the snare I'm using. So I'm going to drag an EQ at the end of it. And we have a look. So that's like the fundamental frequencies and surrounding. Now we don't need any of these low frequencies. And so now you can see how the snare's popping out in the mix a bit more. So like you can have a lot of like cool experimentation with this. Like there's a lot of cool things that you can do with this. So hopefully that gives you a cool idea of, what options you might have when you're arranging things. But you already have all of the ingredients with, playing the guitar, doing all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't have to be fancy. Like really, the best way to come up with the best drum grooves is don't come up with drum grooves, is go and listen to people who are amazing and then listen to the drum groove that they're hearing and start transcribing it, being like, okay, where does the kick land? Bum, 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 bum. And you'll hear that it's like the drummers, everyone's just copying everyone. Like there's no like even like people were talking about like, genius drummers, like when they came out at certain areas of like eras, like Dave Grohl, right, with Nirvana, like when he was doing like Smells Like Teen Spirit and all that stuff. Even he cited it. He's like, oh, I was just playing disco drums in a grunge band, and then like you can go listen to like the drum grooves that he literally ripped on, which were disco grooves, and it's just like get the inspiration from as much music as you can, and then that will inform you of like ideas that you can come up with. And like if you're trying to find samples for different things, so it's like I think over here, I don't know what these are, but like I don't know what these things do, but the easiest way to like find a sample, let's say what this is. Okay, that's really loud. So I'm just going to drag the sample onto the kit that I have, right? So if I found a sample that I like, I'm going to go to my kick or my drum rack that I have. So this is if you want to start replacing shit. Like you Google like kick samples, and then you drag the sample in. You bring it into your library or whatever. Or I think it's in like user library. You can find it and stack your samples, figure out your project or whatever. But let's just say I go to these samples, and I'm like 80s. I don't want any of that. Oh yeah, here are literal all the samples. So this is like you want to start being fancy. So you wanted a shaker. So let's go shaker. Shaker Iron Man. I like that one. So if we want Shaker Iron Man, I'm just going to bring it over here. I dragged it, put it in here. Bam, I got my shaker. Shaker Iron Man. And now I have customized my kit. And I go back into here. And you'll see, when I go to do my thing, I got my shaker. And if I want to replace this, I just go drag it up to my shaker. And then I can just swap it. So you can do cool shit. Ableton's a really, really cool program to do all this stuff. I mean, all DAWs can do some version of this. They all have like different workflows, but the session view workflow of Ableton is what I believe is the power of Ableton, because you can be very, very creative and you don't have to like build the whole session and then go back and forth in the arrangement view. Because most DAWs, I believe, run through arrangement view, like if you're using Pro Tools or Logic. But if you swap to session view, this is kind of unique to Ableton. It's like really cool to like stack all your layers and figure out things. And then the writing process becomes way more like easy, in my opinion. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. So hopefully that brings you lots of value.